Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm going to be talking about my experience and my haul and my puberty at Gen Con for 2023. I believe I did a video of this last year where I just kind of went over the games that I got, really to just brag about how much money I spent. No, just to go over games that will hopefully be shown on the channel in the future, or if you see any of the games that I got that you would like to see a review or a potential run-through for, then gives kind of that opportunity of being like, hey, I really want to hear your thoughts on this. And to just go over everything that I did at Gen Con. And this year was weird for Gen Con, I think, because it was busy every single day. So I always go from Thursday to Sunday, and every day of those felt like Saturday of last year. So it was just constantly, like, I think they had over 70,000 people this year. And I was so curious as to why that was the case. But then I realized, oh, well, last year they had a vaccine and mask requirement. So that cut a lot of people out of going. And the year before that was the year after Gen Con, or after Gen Con, was the year after like COVID, like stuff was happening. And I believe the year before 2020, the year before that would have been, because they canceled in 2020, so it would have been the 2021 where it was really shrunk down. So this really felt like the first full Gen Con. And overall, I mean, it's fun. Gen Con is fun, but there was a lot of kind of eye-opening stuff, at least for me personally, that made me start to like question a lot of things about myself. But without further ado, let's just kind of go over some of the games that I got. We'll go over this bag here first. I have 6 bags. That doesn't mean a whole lot. I actually spent way less here this year than I did. I believe I felt like I did in previous years, but I also got not a lot of like really big games. There wasn't a whole lot of games that were on release, and if they were, I was getting them on Kickstarter later. So, games like Last Light, Roy Canada's 4X game was being sold there, but I'm a Kickstarter backer, or GameFound, whatever. So I'll be getting my copy of that in a few months, which is kind of annoying, I think, for a lot of people, whenever it's like, wait, why the fuck are you able to buy it, but I still have to wait for mine? I don't really care about that. I have a bunch of games that I haven't played yet, so it is what it is. And then Earthborn Rangers is another one that I saw that I think was either being sold there or at least on demo. I'll be getting a copy soon also. So, let's go over this box here. Let me take a sip of my coffee. I forgot that was hot. Let's start with an oldie, and a game I was going to get last year, but I think they were sold out. And that is Tosh Kalar. And the 3 expansions. So, which is what is it? Aetherweave, Nether Void, and Everfrost. So, something that I'm wanting to get a little bit more into are abstract strategy games, and I always heard good things about this one. It's by CGE, so this was available, and the 3 expansions. So I believe it's kind of a you have like different creatures that have like different ways that you can put them out with special abilities. I think that could be really neat. It's CGE, it's Vlaada Chvátil, so that proposes a good game. And this is like old. I think this is almost like 2013 or something. Almost 10 years old at this point. So just kind of wanted to give this a shot, and then they had the 3 expansions there, so I was like, sure, I'll try that. The abstract games that I was looking for but didn't find were like the GIMP, whatever, like Yvonne and those weird spelling games. I want to get those and try all those out, but I didn't see any there. The very first thing that I went and got was the Lost Ruins of Arnak expansion. what CGE does, if you've never been to Gen Con, the convention center's a thing, and they have an upstairs. And CGE is always upstairs. They have this massive room with their shop and all their demos and stuff. The great thing about them, apparently, that I found out because I never go up there first day, they open an hour before the actual exhibit hall. And that was awesome because it was like get there early like I usually do on the first day. And there was no one up there. I was like, oh man, I don't even have to like elbow people out of the way to try and get a copy of this. It was just, oh, you guys are open? Cool. Walk in, grabbed those, and paid for it. Very excited for this expansion. I love Lost Ruins of Arnak. This seems to be kind of the expansion that I was looking for versus the other one is great as well, but this is just kind of a lot of stuff, a lot of new stuff, and it also has a campaign that I didn't know about, which CGE's other campaign game, Under Falling Skies, is really, really good. So might do this as a mini series for me as a solo experience, but definitely grab this one first thing. Then went on over and hung out with some Floodgate guys and picked up two games that I have been looking for a while, and I didn't even know they picked up this company, and that is Caesar and Dogfight. Now, Caesar is, I believe, Paolo Mori's game, so I believe Paolo Mori also did Blitzkrieg. Yeah, Blitzkrieg, which is a wonderful, fantastic two-player head-to-head game. And then they made Caesar, so I really wanted to check this out and buy PSC games as well. I don't know who Carlo Rossi is, but there's Dogfight that kind of has a similar vein, so I wanted to try these two out. Floodgate apparently acquired them, so they were selling it there. If you're wondering if I picked up anything else that Floodgate recently came out with, I didn't because I didn't need to, but there's Sagrada Artisans. You should see a review over that relatively soon. I'm going through the campaign now with my wife, so once we finish that, then we'll do a review. But these two, very excited to give them a shot. I have high hopes because Blitzkrieg was and is really, really good. Again, anything that you see that I go over, just let me know in the comments of what you'd like to see as a review. Let's see. And then I got... It's upside down, I realized. I got Moments. This is the expansion to Keepers, which I have a review over Keepers. Maybe a run-through. I don't think I did a run-through for that one. Keepers is what I call the coffee table book game. It's basically a bunch of these phenomenal photographs that have a very light, like super light gameplay element to it, where you kind of have a hand of cards and you come up with an adjective or a feeling or something, and everyone has to kind of pick a photo that represents that, and you kind of vote on which photo represents that description. Again, it's very, very light, but the photographer is a very sweet gentleman, and he's there, and then I just was like, you know what, I like Keepers for what it is, and I just wanted to pick up Moments. So yeah, and there's a bear on the back, so that's nice. Anything nature related, really, I'm just kind of into. All right, so that was the first bag that I kind of went over. So let's go over stuff that I just kind of experienced. Some games that I demoed. I got to demo Joyride, which is the newest game by Rebellion Unplugged. It'll be hitting Kickstarter. If you've played Heat, Pedal to the Metal, it's going to give kind of that overall vibe. It doesn't play anything like Heat. It's more of if Heat was chaotic, because you can just kind of go all over the map, crash into people, and use wacky gadgets like oil slicks or mines and stuff. So it's if Heat was your your actual NASCAR, Joyride is going to be your, I don't know what to call it, but like where the cars actually crash into each other, and I think there's a race somewhere in there. Maybe those are last person standing. But that was really fun. It was funny because I had the exact same feeling about that game that I did about Heat the first time, where if you do one lap in Heat or this game, it feels completely random and you have no control. And I felt that about Joyride. And I'm like, boy, oh boy, am I glad I have a Heat reference, because I would not like this game otherwise. So that if you don't have Heat, check out Joyride. It gives a similar, really good race feeling, just with more chaos. So that'll be hitting Kickstarter at some point. This one will be a small bag, just because it has like 2 things in it. Well, it has a couple things, but I'm not even going to go over that one because that's just for another game. But I picked up one of Board and Dice's newest game, Barcelona, and these mini expansions or mini promos. This was my impulse buy of the con. Like, I love Board and Dice, pretty much everything that they do. I don't know who the designer is of this, Danny Garcia, but this cover is gorgeous. Like, I really love this cover. It has some excellent weight to it, and the way the guy who was explaining it to me was, because I was like, I don't know anything about this. He said it was like you get a lot of abilities that you can combo off of one another, and I'm like, well, that sounds neat. So, Board and Dice, this was my impulse buy. Have no idea. I really don't know anything about it, but still excited to give it a shot. That is that. Let's see, other games I demoed. I got to do a quick demo of Mordred, which was Simon's newest game, and like the King Arthur kind of area control game. I actually did play Blood Rage while I was there, like my own copy. That was very nice because it's been so long since I had played it, and it just reminded me of how extremely solid that game is. Just so streamlined and quick, yet gives you that feeling of depth of, an area control game. And Mordred was done a little bit weird, just the way that the demo was ran, but it still gave me a pretty good feeling. I think I'd like Mordred. Again, it was just there as a demo. So yeah, that was that bag. I really didn't demo a whole lot, and I think that was because there didn't really seem to be a whole lot there to demo. That was kind of it. Like, I tried to demo Spellbook every day, but it was always completely booked. Phil Walker Harding, that was really the only reason I wanted to go check it out. But, they always had a full table. They had 4 tables, and they were always full. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not really that interested. And then the big one was apparently a game called Sky Team. Never heard of that. About a pilot and a co-pilot landing flights. So that was Hachette's big game. Like last year, it was Turing Machine that I was able to snag a copy. Sky Team had a line, and I was like, I don't know anything about this, so I don't really want it. This year was very fascinating for me because I got a lot of party-esque games, which is weird. Usually I don't kind of gravitate towards those, but everything that was kind of there was either I'm getting it on Kickstarter, or it's going on Kickstarter, or I already own it. So I was just grabbing games that I hadn't played before. Like this one, Agree to Disagree. This one's by Adam's Apple Games, where the people who did Planet Unknown, they just finished GameFound for Planet Unknown reprint and its expansion, so I didn't need to get a retail copy there. So I tested this one out. My favorite party games are discussion-based games, not kind of the wacky wild ones, but that incite discussion. Agree to Disagree is pretty fascinating, I think, because you have these. This is actually open, but it still kind of like breaks my mind a little. But you're essentially given these 2 pegs that you incite, or not incite, you make a statement that will kind of have people agree or disagree with you. Like, profession. I think board gaming, a board gaming reviewer is the best job in the world. And on the back of these, you have like a heart and a heart that's crossed out to show whether you agree or disagree. You make your decision, and then you pick someone at the table, and then if your things become flush, that means you guys disagree, and you want that. You actually want to disagree with players. It's very fascinating in the way it works, but I enjoy it quite a bit. So that was a party game that I picked up, even though the person doing the demo kind of made it a little odd. But he said he liked Charleston Chew. And I was like, really? Really, dude? I guess you also don't have to make it doesn't have to be your own personal beliefs, but just a statement in general. Then another one that I had heard about last year, but I never messed with because I picked up Turing Machine. And whenever Turing Machine was described to me and then this game was described to me, I was like, well, Turing Machine sounds more up my alley. But then a friend bought this, we played it, and we all went and got a copy. And that is Decrypto. And its expansion, Laser Drive. Decrypto is another party game by Hachette, or at least they were the ones selling it. This is what I was going to pick up. That I couldn't be bothered with SkyTeam, apparently. Decrypto is another word party game. If you love Codenames, I think Decrypto might also be a game you should check out. Not saying they're similar in any way, but in that kind of word clue giving kind of style that Codenames is, Decrypto does it in a very unique way. So that was something I picked up. So my friend bought it, we played it, then we went the next day, everyone went and grabbed a copy as well as the expansion. So this was a success for us. Again, I mean, party is kind of a hard word because it's like, I wouldn't really say I'm having, like, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't invite party feel, but yet you can bring it to a party. I think just maybe party games to me are just large groups of people can play this game, because this plays up to, well, it says 8. I mean, 8 for me is a lot. Then I got, of course, the newest Smash Up expansion. I mean, I had to. I'm still amazed they are releasing these kind of boxes. And also, I think they're in here. Yeah. Well, that's for something else. And that's also for something else. Yeah. This Smash Up Teens. So, this is what I expect from them now. Just single package factions. But nope. Somehow, they are still pumping out factions. I want them to announce, and they had the perfect opportunity to, because AEG just did their, expansion extravaganza for, all their games. War Chest, Cubitos, Tiny Towns. They could have announced the biggest, geekiest box, because right now, it's just a bigger, geekier box. And to this day, if you want to sleeve your cards, it is very, very tough to do so. That the biggest, geekiest box to, add in 20 new expansions, that's 5 of these boxes, and then it be empty and just be done with Smash Up, because maybe they're trying to round it out. I don't know how many factions there are with everything, but round it out, finish it off, and do the biggest, geekiest box, because that would make me happy. I don't even know what's in here. It's based off 80s movies, I think. So it's RoboCop. Oh, it's RoboCop, Gremlins, Back to the Future, and Ghostbusters. Got it. Nailed it. Love Smash Up. Had to get the expansion. Let's see. That box is pretty much done because it's mainly sleeves. I picked up the 2 mini expansions for Moonrakers while I was there, as well as sleeves to sleeve it all. So yeah. Let's see. I talked to a few designers while I was there. Well, not really designers. Usually it's owners of a company. So, Floodgate, Ben is always a delight to talk to. He's such a nice guy. If you ever get a chance to talk to Ben from Floodgate, he's just one of the nicest people that I've met. One of the first people to actually give me a review copy of a game the first time I met him, which was Sagrada, which at the time was very hard to get a copy of. But yeah, he just sent me a copy of the game, and So got to talk to him. Hopefully rekindling kind of a relationship. He has a marketing guy, so maybe some Floodgate games for reviews will be coming through. Got to talk to AJ from Van Ryder Games. Talked to him for quite some time. He's apparently a fan of the channel, so that's always nice to hear. And yeah, they had these alternate killer miniatures for the first season. They're going to have ones for season 2, and then we kind of talked a little bit about season 3, and potentially, wink wink, didn't hear it from me, I'm also not like under any NDA or anything, potentially series 4, because of just the way that I think he said the first 2 series fit in a Calyx shelf, so it'd be weird to have one by itself, is what he told me. But yeah, him and apparently he's a fan of the channel. So if he sees this, AJ, you're awesome. Ben, you're also awesome. So hopefully some Van Ryder stuff coming my way in just terms of reviews. But if not, I buy their games anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, just love the alternate killer minis because those can fit just right in the box. Now, here's another party game, baby. This is by Richard Garfield called Hive Mind. This one we just kind of demoed, last minute, just looking for games to demo, and we're like, oh, sure. And I was like, Richard Garfield? Huh. This is another kind of, not necessarily word, but discussion-based games where you want to put as much, you want to put the same answers as everyone else, and you score points based off that. So you'll take, and this is actually a really nice produced insert, like everything is just in here to quickly play. But what are 2 desserts people might turn down? Just questions like that. There's 6 questions on each thing, and you can also just make up your own. So you write down 2 desserts that people might turn down. Like I might put cheesecake and what the fuck is a dessert now? Cheesecake and red velvet cake. I might write those 2 down. And then you compare yours with everyone at the table, and you get a point for each answer that shares. So it's like if 7 people and you're playing with 8 put down cheesecake, you get 7 points. It's weirdly frustrating. It's a weirdly frustrating game because you're just like, with the ones you're putting down and no one else did, you're like, what is wrong with everyone? But keep it light, keep it fun. Hive Mind, very, very fun game. I think me and another guy in my group got a copy. Then we got, I got this Epic Spell Wars Magus Minion and Manual. This one I actually kind of have a problem with this existing in the first place. Obviously, I bought it because I got everything from their Epic Spell Wars Annihilageddon 3, their Satanic Panic one. But apparently, throughout that entire Kickstarter, they had like some issues or like with familiars or things like that wasn't even included in the overall pledge, and it was an add-on later that I think a lot of people just kind of missed. So they were selling this at the con to just have it available for people who like Epic Spell Wars. Now, I mean, clearly not everyone's going to like Epic Spell Wars. On the spine is a gooey middle finger. I love Epic Spell Wars, and I have recently played it too just to see if I still like it, and I do. Especially the deck builder, I think, works extremely well. So it's annoying that this exists because not a lot of people are going to know about it. I had to even check my pledge to see if I even just had this. And the guy that was explaining it to me, he was like, if you didn't see it as an add-on, you didn't get it. And so I checked my add-ons. I'm like, nope, it's not there. Went and picked it up. It's a side thing. So keep an eye out if you want everything Epic Spell Wars. You probably won't have that, so keep an eye out for it. Then, here's a big one, but this one I had pre-ordered, and that is Freelancers. Freelancers is Plaid Hat's newest Crossroad game. If you are familiar with Forgotten Waters, which was their other Crossroad game, then you'll be familiar with this. It's basically Forgotten Waters in a D&D setting. I will be doing a review over this. I'll be doing a review over some of these that I've already played at the con. So keep an eye out for that if you want to know my thoughts on Freelancers. I don't want to get too much into it. But this one I had pre-ordered and actually was able to go pick it up at the actual convention. So that was nice because not a lot of people do that. So yeah. Then I picked up... I picked up a mini expansion. I actually kind of have it in here. For For Roll Camera. This is a story pack for superheroes. And I completely forgot I wanted to go pick those up because they had a murder mystery pack as well. So might just get that off their website or something. And then I got the Monarch Butterfly pack mini expansion for Endangered. And well, what's really cool, they mentioned it in, like, I think they're going to be doing more expansions for Endangered, and I think they said they partnered with a conservation area. I don't remember the animal though. I'm so stupid, but it was obviously a very endangered animal that they partnered with the conservations to release a pack, and not all the proceeds, or maybe all the proceeds, I don't remember, some or all of the proceeds of that are going to go towards that conservation center. So it's like, please, you do more of that. Like, I think that's really, really cool. I love, like, Earthborn Rangers, I know, has done, like, trying to reduce emissions. There was a demo we played called Forest Shuffle, which was by Lookout Games. It was part of their green line, that, like, none of the cards come with plastic. All the components are, like, biodegradable or recyclable, and that's, like, the first one that they did. Forest Shuffle was a demo that we played that basically had a lot of, like, Earth vibes to it. Multi-use cards, special abilities, very, very good card game that I'll probably pick up retail. But there was quite a few of that, of trying to be more conscious. And it was funny because, like, people are like, upset, well, what about the cards are getting damaged? I guess I'll just sleeve them. And it's like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of their green line, is if you use plastic to sleeve the game. But, I mean, it's like, well, the sleeves are already printed, so I don't know. I'm not making a political statement here. However, I think that's really cool. Very excited for more Endangered content, although it's kind of depressing at the same time. All right, 2 more bags. One I'm saving for the very end, and this one's going to be quick. The other thing I was really looking forward to get at Gen Con, because this is a very old game, but I am slowly going to be acquiring all the stuff for it, and that is going to be Dominion expansions. So whenever I went to Rio Grande Games, I was like, they had all of them out there, and some of them, like, well, this one says 2nd edition. A lot of them didn't, and I asked the guy, I'm like, is there even a difference between 2nd and 1st edition? And he's like, not really. Like, they kind of just took some cards out, but it's like, in terms of, like, art and, like, the way the cards work, from what I can tell, they look very, very similar. Anyway, so I picked up Prosperity, Intrigue, and Plunder. These were 3 that I just kind of saw because they were doing, like, a deal or something for, if you get, like, 2, you get $10 off. If you get 3, you get 20. Yay! Yeehaw! It's funny because every game that I got, then this is why Gen Con this year felt kind of a little because every game was either Kickstarter, which I backed, and so we'll be getting my own copy, or I could have gotten them retail. So this was the first year I went that I was like, well, what's the incentive to go? Because Gen Con is when you go to Gen Con to buy games. You go to Origins, or you go to Geekway, or to play games. And, I mean, you can obviously play games at Gen Con, but they have the exhibit hall, which is mainly for buying. So it's like, well, I could have gotten all of these games, literally all these games, somewhere retail. So I don't know. I'm I'm curious if I'm gonna want to go next year, but it is what it is. These 3 expansions, because here's what's weird: second edition, but Plunder doesn't have the second edition on it, but I believe it's the newest one. Like, yeah, 2022. So it'd be weird if they had a second edition for Dominion, like these expansions, but not for like if they plan on doing the second edition for this one, but it's their newest one. You think they would just print it as second edition? So I don't know. Let me know in the comments on like if I have to get the second edition versions of these expansions, or if it doesn't really matter, just get a copy. Anyway, there was a guy that was working there that, because I was like, I don't know what I want. I got the 2 expansions. I have Hinterlands, and then I have a big box for one of them. Actually, hold on. The big box, what's in here right now? Anyway, so there's these, and I was like, oh, which one should I get? And he recommended these 3, so that's the ones I bought. So yeah, very excited to just see what these bring to the game, and yeah, that is Dominion. Anything else in this bag? I think it was just those 3. Yep. Okay, last one. So one of them that I think, yeah, was also being sold at the Hachette booth was Suspects. So this is their second box that contains 3 mysteries. Their first one, all 3 of them were great. I love the way that they kind of do these whodunits in a very unique way, and the way that they're done, I think, is done very well. Like, the writing is good, the clues are good. It doesn't feel like you're floundering a lot. They just kind of really level you through. Really, you could take as much time as you need to try and get the answer, but you want to do it obviously more efficiently. So if you like the first Suspects, then I would probably just keep an eye out on that one. Then we got this one. I don't know why I picked this up, because I still have not played the base game, but I picked up the Icky expansion. Probably because I have a feeling, and I got Icky last year. Here's the thing, yeah, that's like Gen Con, I got Icky there last year, haven't played it, and then here, so it's like, here's the expansion, I have it. But I did get to see how Icky was played. I'd be surprised if I didn't like it, so I kind of just got this as a just in case, and if I don't, then I'll just hopefully sell it. But yeah, I can't even really say if I'm excited to see what this is, because I don't officially know if I'm gonna like Icky. And then this was the big one, the biggest one, because I didn't pre-order anything there last year. I pre-ordered everything for Oathsworn. I got my friends to buy a lot of stuff. Got my friends to buy everything for Roleplayer. Got my friend to buy everything for Oathsworn. I had him got him to pre-order it, and then I had another one get Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, and like Frosthaven and stuff. So all those companies should really just send me a check, because you're welcome. No. This one was the first one that I knew I wanted once I found out it was being sold there. But again, it wasn't hard to get. I was extremely surprised. And that is Great Western Trail, New Zealand. This box is heavy. So last year, they released the second edition Rails to the North. And that was a pain in the ass to get. Like, I had a friend who happened to be demoing there go ahead of time, because they got like an hour in before, and picked me up that copy, which was extremely nice of him. This year I thought I was going to have to do some weird shit to try and get this copy. Nope, I just waited in line and got it. Now they did, of course, I think they limited it to one buy, but it was nice, because I went up to, there was a line around the Asmodee booth, and I went up to a woman working there, and I was like, hey, like, I see the line here, should I, like, is there a point to waiting? Like, am I going to wait for an hour, and then not end up getting a copy anyway. And her response was, "You probably should wait because there's no guarantee we'll have copies tomorrow." And so here I am with the copy. Waited, didn't take that long. They were very efficient, and extremely excited to play this. I've done a review over the second edition and Argentina, so keep an eye out for a review on this one very soon, because this was my big get. This and the Lost Ruins of Arnak expansion were the two games that I wanted that were released at Gen Con, and I didn't even have to try that hard to get it. But that is everything that I pretty much got at Gen Con. Overall, like, because I didn't get Disney Lorcana because I'm not a psychopath. I wasn't going to wait, literally a whole day to get a Disney trading card game. Not happening for me. I don't play trading card games anyway, so... And I wasn't going to use them to scalp prices because I'm not a piece of shit. So, I mean, overall, like, Gen Con, what I basically... Because I don't do events. Usually, I'm there every day from open to close of the exhibit hall because I'm trying to get games. This was the first year, and I've been going for, I want to say 6 years. Like, not like skipping 2020, and I was going, and this was the first year that I got everything I wanted within the first 2 days. So because I wasn't doing events, it was kind of like I went Saturday just to try and get demos in, and then Sunday was going really just to go, and I went to say bye to some of the people that I had known that are in the industry, go talk to some publishers and designers and things like that. So it's kind of like that, and that was really it. So everything that I got, I could get retail. So it's like maybe this was just a weird year, or kind of a dead year, and I either don't go, or I take a break, or I do keep going and hope that there are games that are being released at Gen Con. But that's the hard part, is everything goes Kickstarter now. So unless they're doing a, hey, we're releasing your game at Gen Con, like you can pick up your Kickstarter copy at Gen Con. That was a lot of the games this year that I personally was excited for. I mean, Great Western Trail is obviously retail. That wasn't Kickstarter. Nothing here is Kickstarter, actually. Like, they were all retail releases, so I don't know. It was just kind of a little odd. Being around everyone is always great, but with it being as packed as it was really annoying when people are like slowly walking and you're making progress, and then they just stop and whoa, and it's like, move. Like, you're fine to look. Just get out of the fucking way of this already congested aisle. Yeah, I mean, I got some business cards, like, just in case, they like the channel and want to send review copies of games. I'm always cool to do that. But I don't go booth to booth and just, like, sell myself. It's just like, oh, hey, because I just don't like doing that. I have some pride. But, yeah, again, I also have no problem buying games and reviewing them that way. Because, again, if they go out of their way and send me, like, a review copy, there is some weird obligation to be like, well, if I really shit on your game, then I guess that's that partnership done. Not that I've ever really cared, because I don't rely on them for income or anything. But if I at least buy, like, if I buy Great Western Trail New Zealand and I hate it, it's like, okay, well, I bought your game. You have no right to get upset, because at least you got my money. So I don't know. I'm not as keen to jump back into Gen Con. Like last year, it was like, it's over, already planning to go next year. This year, it's like, maybe I just skip it. I don't know. I'll probably still end up going, but that's just kind of where I'm at. If you've never been to Gen Con, I still highly recommend it. It is a wonderful experience. And if you go with a budget in mind and you stick to that budget, then you're going to be golden. Like, I personally think don't go to Gen Con with a budget, but also don't go into debt for it. Like, don't be like, I'm going to spend $300. Like, because that goes by very, very quickly. Like, go with a bunch of money. Go with a budget that's way over expectations. Be like, I'm gonna spend $5,000 there. And if you do spend $5,000, then that was your budget. But if you're like, oh, I only spent $1,000, then great, you have $4,000 lying around. So yeah, anything you see here, let me know in the comments below on if you want to see a review or a run through. I'll be happy to do it. Like the smaller expansions, like Smash Up, I'm probably not going to do a run through or a review over the Teens expansion. Like the Moonrakers mini expansions I got, I'm not going to do. That'll all be lumped in with the main Moonrakers review. But like in terms of big box or in terms of like the party games, just let me know in the comments. And if you went to Gen Con 2023, let me know what your thoughts were of the con. I'd love to hear your experience and everything like that. But other than that, stick around for other videos. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you would like to see more of my content, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I upload any new content. If you feel like supporting the channel, you can go ahead and click that Patreon link to be taken to my Patreon, and any help is truly appreciated. Other than that, stick around for any other run-throughs or reviews or cool top 10s or whatever I feel like putting on. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.